Hello, everybody, and welcome to BetterQuest, the show about getting better and holding each other accountable. It doesn't matter who I am. I'm joined by Jeff Cork. And
Hello,
I'm
friend.
Ben Hanson. I don't know, that's a little shtick I'm working on. Hi, Jeff Cork. Welcome to the show. I don't know. Do you ever like working on shticks? You working on anything over there? A little routine?
I basically have an audience of one for most of my day, so I don't really do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
I miss that. Like working at GI in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, I guess unless everyone took lunch, they were forced to listen to my nonsense, so I could just kind of orbit around various people and to work on my shtick. But it's just not the same now.
You had it honed. You had a sweet tight 5 by the time you left the Game Informer office. I thought it was really
Exactly.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, pretend to pull people's pants down.
I realized the other day, and welcome
Yes.
to BetterQuest, everybody. You can unlock the podcast version of this show and a bunch of other benefits by going to patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. We'd appreciate it. If you like the content, support it or join it. That's what I say, Jeff Cork, and that's what Patreon's all about.
Correct.
But what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by talking about Patreon is I realized the other day there's something about like, well, I think at times I can just be really obnoxious. Like I caught myself kind of being obnoxious towards the end of like the deepest dive on Mass Effect we're doing and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing. Like I can be obnoxious in real life. I get that. But I look around and I look at the level of people being obnoxious on the internet on this frickin' YouTube platform. And I'm like, maybe I need to up my level of obnoxiousness. Maybe I'm not obnoxious enough for the internet. And so maybe my evolution at MinnMax is just an evolution of becoming more and more comfortable with just being as obnoxious as humanly possible.
Yeah, that's never been a complaint of mine, at least when I watch MinnMax content. So
Have you ever honestly thought like, okay, Hanson, that's a bit much for content, like on the obnoxious level?
no. You seem like it might be because I know you also, and I know what you're capable of. So, so I know, like, you know, we're at like a solid 7 right now, which is like I think is a great place to be. But
okay, I'll just ride that out. I notice it sometimes when I go back. I don't think maybe it's obnoxiousness. I don't know what it is exactly. But when I go back and look at like some of the early rapid fire interviews that I did back at Game Informer, like I have just an impossible to remove eating grin on my face throughout so much of it. And it's really obnoxious. Like every time the camera cuts back to me before and after I go for a question, it's just like, but I realize like it's because I'm genuinely that excited. Like I am so excited that I get to talk to, you know, the Pokemon developers and ask them these super nerdy things. But at times I just want to go back in time and just remind myself like, hey, you're going to be on people's, you know, computers or phones. It's going to be a little window. You just need to relax a little bit and try to hide how excited you are about the fact that you're talking to these developers.
yeah,
And that you wrote.
it's fine to be enthusiastic as long as it's, which I am confident that it is with you still to this day, that it's coming from a genuine place and not like I'm in reaction video mode all the time, which I think is when it becomes a little more dangerous. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the word, but
How did you deal with that? I mean, what was your kind of amped up mode? Because there are probably a bunch of times where you didn't want to be in a podcast or a video. Like I'm trying to figure out what you sound like when you're trying to like, all right, let's shift it into overdrive here, even though it's going to be some false piston firings. Is that a thing?
oh no, I think like even when you don't want to do it, I think you get into that mood pretty quickly. You know, I very rarely have to fake enthusiasm or stuff like that. I don't know. That's been the easiest thing is like just getting comfortable to like a baseline version of yourself when you're on a stream or a podcast or something, because then you don't have to think about it too hard. You could just ramble on and not really say anything, and it's just how you are. So
Just ramble on.
ta-da.
Do you think your kids think that you're cool because you've been on like hundreds of hours of podcasts and videos and stuff?
No.
And that's like being in the NBA these days, isn't it?
I think they just grew up with it too, though. So it's just like a completely normal thing. And I think just that generation is also so attuned to people being on streams and everything, where it's just like they feel like they're abnormal for not being on themselves. But
Right.
I'm sure once I'm dead, they can watch those and be like, oh, wow, Dad was not as funny as I remember.
Oh, it turns out every joke people laughed at for my dad has not aged well.
No, he was telling dad jokes before he had us. Ugh.
Hey, this show is all about getting better, holding each other accountable. Every single month, we set personal goals for ourselves, and we encourage the MinnMax community in the Discord, or if you don't want to jump into the Discord, just in your own personal life, that's totally fine, to set a personal goal for yourself every single month, something attainable. And then the Discord, however, is a nice place to hold yourself accountable, because there's a spreadsheet in there if you want to use that, and you can enter your goal in there and then just give updates for other people in there in the little Discord channel about, hey, today I had a tough day. I didn't quite hit my long jump record. And people say, you'll hit that long jump record. Keep at it, John. And those types of conversations are very sweet, but it's a wonderful place. I recommend everybody check it out. This month, however, we're shaking it up. It's the first month where a little something different is happening, where at the end of this show, this very program, we're going to pick goals for each other. Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Okay, just as a tease, Cork, how was that process for you? Did you know immediately what you're going for? Were you sweating about it? Was it a last-second decision for you?
It is seemingly a really easy thing.
Yeah.
And then I got in my head and I was just like, maybe I don't know this guy at all. Like, is this something that he has done or is interested in doing? Is it a good fit? Is it just like, well, yeah, I do that all the time anyway, you ding dong.
Yeah.
Don't you know? So
is it pee a couple times a day?
Good. What's that?
Is it pee a couple times a day?
Pee a couple times a day in your pants. Yes.
Yeah, I mine kind of evolved from not pranks, but more like challenges in dares and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, wouldn't it be interesting if Cork did this? Wouldn't it be interesting if Cork did this? Like, for example, one of them, this is a terrible way to frame it as a prank or a dare, but one of them that I was thinking about for a while is like, what if it's just Cork's goal this month is to get really into Maya Angelou and give us like a report at the end of the month about like, here's actually the insight after a month of studying Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Would you have accepted that, or you've been like, this is stupid?
Still, I would rise to the challenge.
Oh, so look at this. My God. So yes, it'll be fun at the end of the show when we spring those on each other. We'll see how it goes. Cork, I had a challenge for you last month, and you have not muttered a word about it other than the fact that you said, all right, I'm going to play Before Your Eyes, that game that you said had a big impact on you. Does that radio silence mean that you never actually played Before Your Eyes, or have you been sitting on your thoughts until right now?
I downloaded it after buying it and have not played it.
Oh my God! I thought you were being so good about like not revealing your thoughts. I was just jonesing for this conversation, Cork.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
Has anything been spoiled, even like conceptually, about what it is?
Nothing. I know nothing about it still.
Oh my God. It is going to be a game that, and actually, well, I think it's going to be a game where at the end of the year, it's going to be on a lot of like best moments lists, best games lists. And it's going to be a moment of like everyone being like, what was Before Your Eyes? And like, I thought we kissed its ass pretty hard on the podcast, but we actually had a Twitter poll not too long ago where I just asked people like, hey, have you ever heard of Before Your Eyes? And it was like 98% said no. It's like, that's interesting. Not like you need to hang on every word we say on the podcast. But it's like, I thought we really kissed that game's ass a lot. And it's like, it's an easy name to forget. So I hope people don't overlook it.
Right.
Like Jeff Cork.
How long does it take to beat?
Hour and a half.
Okay. I'll just do it in the morning.
Okay. We could just turn this episode of BetterQuest into like a live stream of you playing Before Your Eyes.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so your goal this Cork month, and you're at level 7, by the way. Every time you complete a goal, you can up a level. Current level 7, Jeff Cork. Your goal this month, or last month, May, was get the sleep thing figured out. Yes. Doctor visit required.
Yes.
All right, walk us through this. How'd it go? What was the issue?
The issue is I'm bad at sleeping. So it's gotten better kind of naturally over time, but it's still not, I would consider, a quality night's sleep. Lots of waking up, tossing and turning, that kind of stuff. So I did have a consultation, virtual one, with a sleep specialist.
Interesting.
And now I just need to schedule the sleep study. I'm waiting for that part.
All right, jury, by that I mean people watching us live at the Backstage Pass tier. Does that count as a doctor visit? When we say doctor visit required, does a virtual consultation with a sleep
Well, they're not doing them in person.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they said that's the only way they're doing it because of COVID and all that stuff.
Okay. So what's the next step in this whole process then?
To have the sleep study.
And is that on the radar? Do you know when that would be coming up?
I'm waiting for the person to call me to make the appointment.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself getting more self-conscious about your sleep now? Because it's like, all right, I got this on the horizon now.
Let me tell you
if I fix
something,
things
Ben.
before it happens, it's going to be a problem.
Let me tell you something here. So I'm in the process of building a virtual pinball cabinet. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this.
Sure.
So it'll be like big HD screen for a play field, and then like another one for like back glass, and then like the digital monitor for the little inset display and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I'm very excited about it, and I have had the most miserable sleep for the past few days because I keep waking up thinking about things that I could do, and it makes me feel like I'm like 7 years old, but not in a way that I'm like, oh, the fun part of being a kid. It's like, I hate it. I wish that I could turn my brain off and just not get excited about it. And just go to sleep.
What is there to get excited about? What are the
thinking
details?
about like parts of the process and ordering parts and like, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Don't write it off. That's some good nerdy stuff. Like, what does it actually look like to try and build one of these things?
It's going to look like a pinball table. Yeah.
Okay. And then you can just swap out what the actual cabinet is inside of it.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, it'll have like pinball effects will be installed in there and all that business. Yeah.
Can you give us like a rough price tag for how much this would be?
Thousands of dollars.
Is that true?
Yes.
Because just like the screens and stuff are brutal.
And just, yeah, there's a lot of stuff to buy, like solenoids, so that it like you get force feedback when it's playing, and you have like the actual plunger and like a sound system that has like surround sound that's like in this thing so you can hear the ball rolling around.
Oh my God.
It's intense. Yeah.
When did you get this in your head that you really wanted this?
I have always loved like virtual pinball. And then I was just like, I'd love to have an actual pinball machine, but like they're so expensive. And then just the maintenance on it is such a pain.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, this is like the best solution because like I said, I love video pinball. I understand like a lot of people are like, it's gotta be the real deal or nothing, but yeah, I enjoy both.
This is interesting. I forget if we talked about it, but my family got an old pinball table at like our lake place. Yeah. And it's like 7-card stud, I think is the name of the table. It's like 70s.
Is it like an old electromechanical one? Like very loud?
It's loud. I mean, all pinball's loud though. What do you mean?
Well, those are like really like clicky clacky. Like it sounds like things are like the scoreboard is like really loud as it's updated the score. Stuff like that. Like, yeah. It's
like the physical thing. Yeah. It's not a digital readout for that thing. But it turns out only like 3 hotspots on the table actually still work for getting you points. Oh, cool. And so, it's a real mess. And then we try to look into the wiring to figure like, how do we fix this? And it's just like, it looks like if they were trying to defuse a bomb in an over-the-top 60s comedy, like just the amount of wires in there. It is.
Yeah, or like a space capsule or something.
Yes, it's just a rat's nest. It's truly insane, but I still want to do it. Like, I think it'd be a fun little like one-off MinnMax video. Is just like, all right, I work with my daddy, and we try and fix this without getting too electrocuted or lose the will to live. But that
would be awesome. I would watch that.
Oh, thanks, man. You can be in it if you want to help fix it.
I am not good at that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. All right. More of a digital man.
Exactly.
Well, my goal, by the way, congratulations on leveling up. You did it. We're all really proud of you. The chat's going freaking wild. But my goal this month was like a couple things. First of all, it was to adhere to the timers on my phone apps because I have all my social apps and basically anything good on my phone on a timer where I can use it for 2 minutes a day. And then if I have to ignore the limit, I have to do 10 squats as punishment. I definitely hit that. I'm feeling very good about that. So it's one of those things where, looking back on it, I feel accomplished for being pretty strict about all that stuff throughout the month. I guess it does help your mind a little bit not to be a little bit more glued to your phone every time you run to the bathroom or something.
Now, do you find yourself making a beeline for a laptop or a computer if you're just like, well, I'm just checking Twitter just as much, but I'm just walking up or downstairs to do so?
A little bit, but also I have timers on all of Twitter in my browser, except for the MinnMax Twitter. MinnMax Twitter I don't, but I only follow news sources there. So it's less of like personal doom scrolling, outrage machine like normal Twitter is. And so, I have 6 or 8 minutes on my standard Twitter, which is great, except it really stresses you out when I'm trying to DM people, especially like, MinnMax stuff, like lining up interviews. And it's like, oh crap, I have to copy and paste this DM ahead of time because I don't want to take up too much time. So it kind of gets in there, but it works out well. But then my other goal was have to get out of bed immediately after waking up, which I have done. I've gotten out of bed each morning before the door closes with my girlfriend walking out to work each day. It's always my markers. I gotta be standing before that door closes. Hit it every weekday. I felt really good about that. And then I go outside and do 10 minutes of jumping rope, which was kind of the real bearcat of this thing. And I did it every weekday. I went out there and did 10 minutes of jumping rope. And you might say, Jeff Cork, 10 minutes. Big whoop.
That's a lot.
10 minutes of jumping rope is, I believe, 4,700 years in dog years. It never ends. And especially like early May, I mean, it was like in the 30s out there. So it was some intense cold morning. Sometimes I was a little bit hungover. It's like, all right, here we go. In the 30s, hungover, 10 minutes at 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. And so it's a nice way to kind of kick your own butt every morning. And it's an interesting race of doing the jumping rope for 10 minutes, trying to figure out like what's going to give out first, my legs or my heart. And typically the thing that'll save you is I'm terrible at jumping rope. And so I'm like counting, and it's really like a miracle if I can get over like 30 in a row. So I'd find myself like tripping constantly. I'm sure my neighbors could watch me and they would laugh like maniacs sipping their morning coffee.
Well, that's because it speeds up every time, right?
It should. That would be a much better way of going about it. I don't know. I should have looked at like a YouTube video for seeing if there's any strategies for jumping rope, but here was the real kicker. First of all, it was a good workout. I enjoyed doing it. I got into like stretching my calves because also stretching was a big thing on my goal for the month. And so I was stretching every morning as well, and it felt good. And by the end, it wasn't as exhausting on my legs or heart. But the kicker was that my jump rope is like metal. It's like, I don't know, what do you call that? A metal wire. And like the bottom in particular is like this metal wire. And by the end of the month, the bottom was like frayed metal spikes. And so I would trip over it so much that now my legs are all like cut up because the jump rope just kept hitting me in the shins. And I have to like pluck it out of my legs, or it would get tangled up in my shoelaces. Now, I'm no expert on this stuff, but surely this is a flaw in the design, right? Like, how are they designing jump ropes and not factoring this in? Because every time I would get it caught with my shoelaces, then it would just be stuck in my shoelaces like a cockleburr and it rip it out. So it was kind of annoying more than anything, Jeff Cork, is my conclusion.
I would say that's a design flaw if it is like physically nesting itself into your shins.
I haven't jumped rope for a while. I don't remember what it's like. But this morning after I finished it, I marched proudly to the garbage and threw it away. Like, all right, if I'm supposed to be jumping rope, it is not with this metal death trap. So, jumping rope, I recommend it to everybody because like 10 minutes, it's a great workout.
At any point, did you attempt to do like one of those arm crossover fancy ones?
That's pretty telling that after an entire month, I did not try that once. There was one morning where it was like heavy raining. And so I still went outside just to have the brisk morning air. But like under my overhang, I couldn't get the full rotation of the jump rope. So then I just had to stand there and jump in place without the jump rope for 10 minutes and really felt like a dingleberry. But other than that, it was all great. Should we try taking some calls, Jeff Cork?
I would love that.
All right, let's try taking the first call here. Hopefully.
Good place to start.
Got to start somewhere. The second best time to do something, the best time to plant a tree is yesterday. The second best time to plant a tree is right now.
Very interesting.
Also, the caller refused to pick up. They said they heard that little comment that I made about trees, and they're not interested. I guess I told them a little bit of an early call, but I guess
I'm just glad you didn't use an accent when you said that.
Oh, thanks, ma'am. Yeah, we all evolve. Hello, Shazira.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Shazira. You're on with Jeff Cork.
Hello.
Shazira, how many times have I mentioned how impressed I am about you just being everywhere at once? Like, I cannot imagine how glued to that Discord you are. You are in like every Backstage Pass, every live stream, you're copying and pasting, you're on top of mod duties. It is mind-boggling how attentive you are, I guess is the best way to put it.
Appreciate the compliment. I work from home, so it's a little easier for me than I think it is for everybody else. I have several screens set up. When you put the link out for these live streams, I click it immediately and I just put it to the side and I just hear it when it comes on.
Okay. All right.
It all works out.
All right. As long as you're not getting too stressed out over there.
Yeah. No, and plus, I mean, we work as a team too. I don't think a lot of people understand how much like cooperation and consulting we do with each other. It's not just me.
For the mods. Yeah. Okay. So Cork said he wanted to speak to you. He said he had some words of wisdom for you. And he said you should talk to Shazira because she's doing HIIT. And I don't know what that is. What is HIIT, Shazira?
High intensity interval training. It's working out in a way that is like, you basically are spiking your heart rate and then you're coming down to a rest state and then you're spiking it back up and then you're coming down to a rest state. And it is, I don't know, I find it very satisfying as an exercise.
Yeah. Jeff Cork, had you heard of this?
Mm-hmm. It's like super, super efficient.
Okay. So if you don't have that much time, like a 10-minute jump rope type strategy, you could just do this. So what does that actually look like? What are you doing and for how long?
You can do, you can go like straight up sprint. What I do isn't quite true. I do a minute on and then 2 minutes off. So I go to a full sprint for a minute and then I come 2 minutes down for like, I'd say a run. Although I should probably be jogging. But, that, or you can do like burpees.
Okay.
For like 30 seconds. And then you can do just like, raises, like arm raises with like lighter weights, for like a minute and a half. And then my goal was to work up to getting back to 50 minutes of that.
15 minutes?
No, 50.
50? That's absurd.
I used to be very athletic growing up. I'm used to working out, and I still have been working out over the pandemic. There's just something really satisfying, and it just feels really good when you do this sort of thing. Like, you are so tired and your body is so mad at you. I don't know. It's kind of great.
Yeah. When do you do this? Is this like an early morning thing?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No. I have things to do during the day. It's at night.
But then that just feels like a mess. Then you got to shower at night, and no one likes showering at night. It's too much.
I secretly probably prefer showering at night.
God, that's outrageous.
I know.
So it just comes down to you being efficient, though. Like, you want to get all the joy of exercise and thrill of exercise, but you're a busy person.
It feels really good. It's also just a great way. If you are stressed out about anything that happened during the day, it is a great way to get all of that out before you go to bed.
So what do you think? Should people just go on YouTube and look for HIIT? Or like, what's the best way to start kicking your own ass like this?
Could do that. I also don't think that you necessarily need to go into it hard at the beginning, and you absolutely need to make sure that you are warming up and that you are stretching so you don't injure yourself in any way. Because you can't, like, you need to know the limits of your body and grow with them, you know, as they expand.
Okay. All right. So
when I was running, that's what I would do. And it was great in particular because I get bored very easily. So it was like a way to kind of keep my mind going a little bit because it's like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm going to do this for this long and then I'm going to do this. I always have something to look forward to rather than just like, oh, I'm going to go on an hour-long run and just not walk into the lake.
I feel you. Growing up, so I played a lot of sports and there's a lot of running in sports. So you're like not bored. And then after that, later, I would referee. It was very nice because I would do like the very competitive games. They basically are paying you quite a bit of money to exercise, and you're not bored at all because you got to be on the ball.
Yeah.
But then the entire like transitioning to being a functioning adult in the adult world. It's like now I had to use a treadmill. What? And it's so boring. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, good job for doing it. I mean, are you there? Are you doing this as much as you want?
Yeah, I mean, so last week I was at 35 minutes and I just decided, you know what, if I'm going to make my goal, I just need to do it. So I probably pushed myself a little harder than I needed to, or I should have had I planned everything out appropriately. But I got there, and I can do it consistently. I've done it the last 4 days for 50 minutes. So
nice.
I feel satisfied.
Well, hey, way to go. We're all very impressed.
You can watch a YouTube video of her getting flung across the gym on the treadmill. It's really funny. People are loving it.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Well, thanks for calling in, Shazira.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye. Jesus, we're such losers compared to her, Cork. Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You really had to think
I can't
about
even
that?
say I used to be athletic. That's the worst part.
You could. No one can call you on it. No one's going to go dig up an old picture and be like,
I could say like I used to be younger. I guess that's cool.
Fun fact, I used to be slightly younger.
I was shorter once.
Hello, Jay Martin.
Hello, how's it going?
Really well. Welcome to BetterQuest, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So your goal, this is from May, right? Was you submitted a TV pilot screenplay successfully.
So, yeah. Well, that might be, depending on what your definition of successfully, it hasn't been greenlit for TV, if that's what you mean.
No, that doesn't count.
But yeah, it made it through. And it made it through one round of competition, and I'm currently waiting on round 2. So, but that's the furthest I have had a submission get, and it's a relatively prestigious competition. So I'm fairly happy. We'll see how it does.
That's amazing. Congratulations. What's the competition?
Thanks. So it's called Launchpad, and I've entered it multiple times. And usually they say don't enter this one if you're a beginner because it's a little bit difficult, and the feature length ones haven't. I've had some good feedback, but I haven't got past the first round. But I have a new baby at the moment, so the feature length was a bit much. So I thought the pilot sounded great because that's essentially half the length, and you don't have to wrap your storylines up. So it was just a lot easier to come up with something with my limited time. So that's kind of how I netted out on the TV pilot.
Nice. What is it inspired by? What would you compare the TV pilot to?
So it's sci-fi. I would say my inspirations would probably be things like Blade Runner. Basically Blade Runner. Anything in that kind of
Blade
vein,
Runner meets Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I can give you the log line actually,
please,
if you want. This would be better read in a movie trailer voice. I could use like Bob Buel to read this for me or something. But
hang on. Do you want to actually just post it in the chat, then we can call up Bob Buel and he can read it for us?
I mean, if Bob Buel actually was available, that would be pretty great.
I think he's watching us live at the Backstage Pass tier. So you can. That's
incredible.
You can post it in the Backstage Pass tier, and then we'll call him up after this, and he can read it for us. Is that cool?
That would be amazing.
Okay, yes. Great. We'll get that sweet detail. But congratulations. That seems like a real mission accomplished here, man. As they say in the sci-fi world.
So then, with this competition, like, what are next steps? What happens now?
So essentially, if it gets further, then I'll get
win
some. I'll win things, and then but I think the main reason you enter is essentially because they will put you in contact. That you're basically guaranteed to be put in contact with certain people who will talk to you about it, talk to you about potential next steps. You get kind of in a little network, essentially, if you make it to a certain stage. Mm-hmm. But if you make it to if you get to the very top, I believe top 3, then you're essentially guaranteed to be optioned.
Wow.
At least for a pilot. And, I don't anticipate, if I'm honest, getting there, but at this point, they provide a lot of good feedback, which is also a nice thing about entering these things. You get a lot of feedback, and then they do allow you to kind of resubmit as well. So it's pretty helpful just as as developing your writing skills.
Yeah. Well, that's
a pretty
cool.
Great thing to do.
Well, congratulations. And thanks for being part of BetterQuest, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will post that log line for someone with a better voice to read for you guys.
Maybe you can just DM it to Bob Buel on Discord if that works for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay,
I'll do that.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jay Martin. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, now for this call, I'll wait for Bob Buel to warm up his pipes because you can't go from 0 to 100 reading a sci-fi log line like that. Not even Bobby Buel. Hello, Seth? Seth, so help me God. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Welcome to BetterQuest, sir.
I am so sorry.
That's fine, just because your call-in wasn't working. We enjoy the silence. It works better when we have like a video feed, I think, but for audio only, it gets a little bit tricky, man.
Yeah, I get it.
That's fine. Welcome to the big show. I mean, it's kind of a different type of BetterQuest goal, but you're a father.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my third daughter that was born this week, yeah.
That's amazing. What was the process like for you? I'm sure it's different for your wife or girlfriend, but
yeah, like the actual birth or just pregnancy.
I don't know. What surprised you most this time around? Maybe the best way to phrase it.
The craziest thing this time around, the doctor actually let me deliver the baby, which was insane.
What does that mean?
So when it was like time to push, I was standing in the blast zone. I don't know what you call that. And the doctor was like off to the side, just saying like, okay, do this, push on the baby's head like this and pull out here. And like, I just did the whole thing.
What?
It was awesome.
Did you ask to do this?
Yeah. And so we moved out of state recently. So our other two daughters we had down in California, and both times I was like, hey, I'd love to deliver the baby. And they just never like acknowledged it. But this time the doctor was like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine with me.
I don't care.
Where did you move? What state are you in now?
Up to Oregon.
Okay.
Anarchy, Oregon.
No, up to Oregon, in Salem.
Oh,
Oregon.
I see. Salem. I see. What's the difference? That is absolutely bizarre. Jeff Cork, can you imagine a world where you delivered a little baby boy?
Our second son was born, like Tiffany, my wife, wanted to have like a water birth. So this is now about me, just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
So they were filling the tub in the room, and then my son, nobody delivered him. He just basically burst out on his own when no one was expecting. It was like when you see like a horse being born. He just like blasted out onto the table, and then my wife was like, like everyone had their back to him. It was just,
because everyone was looking at this tub slowly.
Everyone was looking at the tub and making sure. It was a large tub, to be fair, and it was very interesting. But
that's absurd. So it turns out,
I think if I'd known that was even an option, I would have preferred that than just a sheet of wax paper delivering my son, I guess.
That is so nuts. Well, Seth, congratulations on the beautiful baby.
And you cut the cord and all that business?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done that before too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I cut the cords on the first two, but this one was definitely way, way different.
God.
It was awesome. I mean, I did like 0.5% of everything. I mean, my wife did everything. She's awesome, but it felt awesome doing that last part.
Yeah. Next time around, I guess, what's the step up from this? You just have to assemble the baby cell by cell, one at a time.
I don't know. Yeah. I think we're done, but if we had another one, maybe it would have to be like the baby comes out on the car on the way to the hospital or something. That's the next evolution of craziness.
Fingers crossed for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for being part of BetterQuest. Congratulations, Seth.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Bye. Goodbye. All right, let's try this.
I wonder how they're going to try to like bill them extra for that too.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh, you brought your own knowledge? Well, you damn fool. You just doubled your rates. A little something like that. I just cannot imagine. Like when I went skydiving, I didn't even want to like steer. Like I am just very hands off. That is truly a nightmare, is to be that person that's like, I'd like to actually do everything. Sign me up. Speaking of doing everything, hello, Kelsey Lewin.
Hi.
Hey,
Welcome
Kelsey.
back to
How's it
the
going?
show. Really well. You called in last month because your goal was for the month of May to get out of bed before 8 a.m. 6 days a week. How did it go?
I did even better than that. I think I only didn't get out of bed before 8 a.m. twice the whole month.
Wow. Way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I killed it.
Because Cork, as we promised last month, Cork was ready to destroy history if you failed. So there was a lot on the line.
There's a lot riding
congratulations.
on this.
Yeah, history's preserved. Okay, so what was the secret? Is the trick to getting into bed just getting the hell out of bed?
I mean, I think honestly it was that I had people who I had to answer to at the end of this. Like, because it was still just as difficult to get out of bed, but I was like, no, I said I would do this. And I told people out loud I would do this, and I have to face them at some point.
Yeah, that's the point of BetterQuest. It's just kind of like that little nudge, that little element of shame. Because even if you refused to take our calls, we would have actually gone to your house in Seattle, and it would have been like, I don't know, an intense 60-minute segment where you're kicking down your door just to make you confront your decisions.
Kelsey, give a minute.
Oh, well, I should have. Well, I should have just not picked up so that you guys get a vacation. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that would have been a sweet MinnMax vacation. Well, that's congratulations. That's congratulations, as they say. What did you do with all the extra time?
I'm still working on like making that time worth something. I mean, I did. There were a lot of mornings where I just kind of stared at the wall while grumpily drinking my coffee. But
okay,
but. No, I have extra time to like do my workout in the morning and actually get dressed like a normal person and not just put on sweatpants. So
nice.
Yeah, I had a little bit extra time.
Way to go. Do you think you're going to keep it up in the future, even though we're not going to harass you if you don't make it?
Yeah, well, I'm treating all of these goals as like, I'm adding to them every time. So this is a continued part of my life. I don't know if that's the point or not. I don't know if you guys are doing that, but that's what I'm doing with it.
I've kept like the good ones rolling pretty much about like, meditating and social media stuff. There's some that, I want to keep accumulating and stuff. So do you have a goal in mind for June then?
Yeah. And maybe you guys can help me workshop this, because in theory, the point of the goal is that I want to spend some time every day working on like personal projects. I have some like research projects and some writing projects that I have a lot of days where I just get, or at least I tell myself I just get too busy to put any time into them. And so I want to carve out some time every single day to work on that.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to find that line of like, what is a personal project? Isn't a research project like part of your work with the Video Game History Foundation?
Yeah, but if I'm the only one working on it, then it sort of feels personal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. You can disagree with me if you want, but
there's just like
that's how I feel.
Yeah, there's no pressure. There's nobody else to collaborate with. Yeah, I'd imagine that just.
There's no line on it either. It's just like, it's my own. It's done when I'm done with it, and because of that, sometimes they take like 5 months, and it doesn't need to.
Yeah. I think that sounds good. And so it'd just be every day.
Is there like a time of day that you find that you are able to carve out more easily than another? And then 2, that you also feel like more creative or more productive?
Yeah, that's the problem is I've got these mornings now, right? I've got some more time in the morning, but my brain's not really on yet. So do I try to shove it into that time that I know I reliably have every day, or do I, try to find extra time in the evenings when I'm getting home from work and I'm tired?
I think you shove it in the morning. I don't know if I'm a believer in that whole, like, my brain isn't on yet thing. Maybe, just that don't talk to me till I've had my coffee. It's like, I feel like unless you just got done with like a 14-hour day, your brain's pretty much your brain, right? Am I insane?
I mean, I really feel like it takes a little while for my brain to warm up, but it could also just be an excuse. I could just be making an excuse.
Maybe. But yeah, I think that seems doable. So yeah, lock it in, we say.
Because I find that when I'm doing
goal
stuff,
this month.
Sweet.
My brain, like, it takes a while to warm up even at the end of the day, just because like doing something creative is just kind of like, you have to get in that mindset. So at least that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
I do it the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if you wake me up and you tell me I have to like stack some boxes or put some stickers on something or for that.
Yeah.
But like, okay, now write.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that being tough. But best of luck. Is there anything you want to plug?
Sure. We've got See, when does BetterQuest come out? Is this gonna be?
It'll be on
tomorrow?
Friday. Yep.
On Friday? All right. Cool. Keep an eye on the Video Game History Foundation blog, which is gamehistory.org. We have something coming up on either Friday or Saturday.
And it's going to be a juggernaut?
It'll be pretty cool. I think people will like it.
Okay, cool. We'll check it out.
Hey, real quick.
Look out.
This before you go. I was like befuddled by both you and Hanson doing the not getting out of bed thing.
Yeah.
I just found that concept to be completely foreign. I have acquired that habit now.
Wait, just
which is something that I never
hearing
even
about it.
I
Like hearing
look at
about
my
it
phone
made
while
you
I'm lying in bed for about
made it
15
real?
minutes.
Oh, 15, that's baby talk. We're talking,
That's
you need like an hour,
nothing.
45
Oh my God.
minutes
Okay,
of
good. Okay,
dread.
good.
Yeah, so yeah.
I can literally like feeling for an hour. That's
You're cutting out a little bit, but I think we got it. Stare at the ceiling for an hour. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
So, Cork, stop it now. Nip it in the bud, buddy.
Okay, I will.
Okay, perfect. Kelsey, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and now it's time for a dramatic reading from one
Is
Bob
it Mr.
Buel.
BB?
Hello, BB.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
Oh boy, coming in hot. All right, Bob, you have the log line for Jay Martin's Sci-Fi pilot?
I have the log line. The log has been lined, and it is here, and I am ready.
Okay. Hey, Jeff Cork, freaking captain's log line over here. Yeah. And now, for the audio listeners, Jeff Cork is nodding so aggressively, it looks like his neck is going to snap because he's so
like
into
that joke.
It is kind of a joke. Okay, Bob, whisk us away. What is the log line for Jay Martin's in your most dramatic reading, please?
When a woman wakes in the year 2078 after 40 years of hibernation, she must enlist the help of a grizzled private detective to help her find her family and uncover a dark secret about the society she's woken up in.
Hanson.
Yes,
I'm going to go with Blade Runner.
It was actually Blade Runner 2, Electric Blades.
Damn it. So close. Well, hey, do you got the whole script? Do you want to read the entire thing, Bob Buel?
I'm leaking it online right now, actually.
No.
It's pretty solid, I gotta say.
Cool. We look forward to that hot Bob Buel sci-fi joint. Find it on Bob Buel's Twitter, everybody.
That one.
Bob, do you want to plug your podcast?
Oh, mine? Yeah. I have a wonderful podcast I'm very proud of. 99 Questions. The number 99, we all know. I have some of the proudest episodes I've done, and the last couple in there. There's one with Brendan Lee Mulligan from College Humor that's really good, and one that I did that's completely bonkers where I paid all celebrities on Cameo to answer my questions for me. There's 33 different celebrities on that episode.
That is such a goddamn good idea. Give us some names. Who's some weird people you talked to there?
Bootsy Collins from Parliament Funkadelic, Bam Margera's parents, Ennis Cantor from the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh my God.
Mark Pellegrino from Lost. There's a lot of gold in there. There might be a secret codec conversation with a certain Solid Snake at a certain point.
What?
So Bob Buel is teetering on the brink of bankruptcy, I think is what we're learning.
I'm struggling, Cork.
This was a terrible decision.
He needs this pilot to get picked up, for the love of God. Daddy needs
Someone
some
listen
cash.
to it, please.
Cool. Yeah, check out 99 Questions, the podcast. Thanks a lot, Bob Buel. We appreciate it.
Thank you all. Bye.
Goodbye, Bob. It's tough to say Bob Buel without sounding like a ghost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
A mural.
Or to sound, I guess, like a Genesis sound chip. Hello, D-Dubs.
Hi there, Jeff and Ben.
Hello. Yes. Welcome to BetterQuest, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Really well. I am fascinated by this saga because I asked Jeff Cork to recommend some folks for BetterQuest, and he said, D-Dubs, talk to him. And I said, great.
Yes.
So I reached out to you, and you responded by saying, what is BetterQuest?
I know what BetterQuest is. I just I couldn't remember why. I was like, okay, I posted that the day I joined the Patreon, and I didn't make a goal for it, so I was caught off guard. But
gotcha. Well, that's fine. We hunt down anybody with an interesting goal. If you want to call in, by the way, we should probably let people know. Just have an interesting goal, jump in that BetterQuest Slack channel, Discord channel, and there's a chance we'll reach out to you. So, D-Dubs, what is your goal then, or what did you enter so mysteriously?
Sure, yeah. So I got a CPR certification, and I posted a picture of the card. And so I actually did it because I needed to for this internship I have this summer with Girls on the Run. I don't know if you've ever heard of that nonprofit before.
No, what is it?
Okay, so Girls on the Run, they're a nonprofit, and they offer after-school programming to help strengthen 3rd through 5th grade girls' social and emotional and physical and behavioral skills, just to be able to navigate life, during a very pivotal and transitional time. And so I'm working with them as an intern, and part of it I'll be coaching. So with the girls, and so they wanted me to get CPR certified.
That's interesting. So how did you find that nonprofit?
So I'm currently getting my master's in business administration at Boise State University. And the program director was kind of sending out emails for internships because it's something we needed to do during the summer. And that one just caught my eye, as well as my wife was telling me what a great nonprofit it was. And I was pretty excited about it. Cool.
Well, that's interesting. The CPR training, that seems like something that everybody in society should get.
No, for real, right? It's not very hard. But it just seems like a skill that you would definitely want to know should the situation arise, of course, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what, do you have an easy tip that you learned from that whole process where it's oh, everybody should have this in their back pocket?
Okay. So do you want to know how to perform CPR?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So if you see someone who, looks like they're in trouble, you're going to want to tap on them, check if they're okay. Then send someone to call 911 and get a defibrillator. Then you're checking to make sure if they're breathing or not. And, if they're not, you want to immediately start chest compressions. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I've been certified to do, CPR certified a couple times in my life. Once at a Boy Scout camp in Wisconsin, and then another in a high school lifeguarding class. So it's kind of interesting that even though I've learned it twice before, a couple things change, right? I don't really know, I guess they're getting their data from people that are almost dying, I guess. But they made it a big point to say hey, you don't want more than 10 seconds to pass in between chest compressions. So you're doing 30 and then giving a couple rescue breaths. And then you just want to immediately get back into compressions. So, I hope I never have to perform CPR, but it's an excellent skill, not a long class.
I'm still confused about the basics of CPR because it's okay. Don't break the ribs, but the point is just to press down and bend the ribs enough that it hits the lungs, or what's going on?
So another thing that our instructor mentioned, she said basically she said nothing that you can do when performing CPR will hurt more than it will help. So essentially don't be really worried about, and also she said it's really bad to not push hard enough. It's not bad to push too hard. So the chest compressions need to be 2 inches deep at least, which is kind of a lot.
Jesus Christ.
Pushing down on someone's sternum, so yeah, that's tough. And then something you don't consider, I'm a pretty active person, a pretty healthy guy, but it's exhausting. Holy crap. Just doing that many compressions and then doing it immediately again. So ideally you'd have someone there to trade off because, once you get really tired, you're not going to be able to perform good CPR. So
that's wild. All right. Well, thanks for the reminder to go get some CPR training. How did you find the Discord? You said you're new here?
Yeah. So been following both of you guys since Game Informer and MinnMax. And then, I just, I think I saw a tweet from you guys, supported the Patreon, getting in the Discord, and I was feeling that day I needed some community.
Ooh.
And it was just the thing. So,
that's perfect.
MinnMax. So Patreon cured my depression.
Oh, great. Well, let's not get nuts here, but that's nice to hear that. Yeah, the community is nice. So, cool. Well, thanks for supporting us, and thanks for jumping in the channel. And yeah, next month, jump in the BetterQuest channel a little bit more.
All right, I'll make a goal. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Good luck with the internship. That sounds great.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
What a nice young lad.
Absolutely.
Isn't that nice? You can just throw a dart at anybody in the MinnMax Discord. It's like, oh, they're a nice young lad more often than not.
Absolutely. The CPR stuff's important.
Yeah. Hello, Tony.
Hi, Ben. How's it going?
Really well. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay.
How's it going, Jeff?
Doing all right.
You had a journey here, a whole saga that the end goal was to create 2 pieces of pixel art, but it has a lot of lead up to that. Do you want to talk about how this journey started?
Yeah. Well, about probably a year or so ago, I injured my hands. And so I've been off work for pretty much since the pandemic started back in February 2020.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got the injury. I've had a problem with it ever since. And I'm an illustrator by trade. So I've kind of taken that time off work and I've been trying to get myself back doing rehab.
How's it all
doing
going?
A program. Sorry?
How's it all going then?
I think it's going all right recently. I mean, I had the whole of last year was just a nightmare. Like, it just wasn't getting better. And, you know, with the pandemic, it's like difficult to see doctors and stuff like that. And I'm still waiting to see a doctor at a hospital, and it's like, because of the pandemic and schedules changing and what have you, I've got a long wait. So they told me it's a year wait to actually see someone.
What?
Like a doctor about which is pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky. I live in England, so it's free healthcare that we've got here.
Yeah,
but
that's
to
nice.
wait that long is crazy. So I'm getting some private healthcare right now, and the idea is, because I'm seeing I don't know if you've ever seen a chiropractor before.
I haven't, but yeah.
I'm seeing a chiropractor, and he's giving me like a kind of rehab schedule.
So,
because his idea is to like rehabilitate all the muscles and rebuild all the muscles, like the tendons around the hands.
Yeah. And are you getting to the point where you can make art again, make the pixel art?
Yeah, a little bit. So my goal in April was to kind of just give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. And then my goal last month was to do 2 pieces of pixel art. So I didn't manage 2, but I did 1 piece, and I'm happy with it, and things are getting more comfortable. I mean, I'm a lot further along now than I was in the past. So
right on.
When I first got these problems, I can barely brush my teeth and use a knife and fork and stuff like that.
Jeez.
But
did you
now
share?
Like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, now it's a lot better than that. Like, I still can't cook that much, or just kind of day-to-day things that you normally do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a struggle, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Oh, good. Did you share that pixel art in the Discord by chance?
Yeah, I shared a couple of days ago. I think I shared one of the work in progress, like images of it.
Okay. Nice. Well, I hope it improves. I hope you get to see the doctor a little bit sooner than a year from now, and I hope the chiropractor can improve things for you. That sounds rough, but it'll get better.
Yeah, I'm more positive now than I was, 3, 4, 5 months ago.
Okay.
But it was just kind of a nightmare of like speaking to doctors and then not getting too many answers. But the chiropractor's actually been super helpful for me. And
Oh,
it's
good.
given me like a goal as well, because obviously it's like I've got to do this. I've got to do these exercises and this rehabilitation work basically every other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it since kind of Christmas last year. So
Yeah. Well, good.
it's kind of good for me.
Right on. Well, thanks for calling in, and thanks for supporting MinnMax, and thanks for jumping in that Discord channel. We appreciate it, Tony.
Yeah, cheers. You guys take care.
All right. Bye, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye.
Bye, Tony. There are a lot of other people that have good goals coming up for June here, Cork. Well, this was actually an old one. Projectionist in May painted a miniature that I believe you're the one who told me looks very neat.
I didn't want to like poison the well. It's very gross, but also very neat. Well done.
Okay, sweet. And then for the next month here, Adrian T. Their goal is to complete a playable version of a board game, including at least one test play session with friends and family. That sounds like a very fun idea. Reed is going to be reading every day. That was for last month. And now the goal is to make a version of Connect 4 in Unity. But you can rotate the board 90 degrees instead of playing a piece on your turn. That's a very good idea for a twist on Connect 4, and you should sell it to Hasbro or Parker Brothers or something.
Yeah, because that does not work in real life.
Yeah. We've all learned the hard way. SpiralInYourEyes is going to learn Japanese for 30 minutes a day. Podbot is going to write 2 short stories in Japanese, each with 2 illustrations. That sounds very good. Congratulations, Podbot. Stick at it. John Skovic has the goal of making a dialogue replacement mod for Mass Effect. Hell yeah. Nerds. Love it. Demolisher, the goal is to sleep at 11 p.m., wake up at 7 a.m., write 1 blog post per week, and read 1 book every 2 weeks. Do it, Demolisher! Darkfish Days, the goal for June is no sugar or junk food for the entire month. We believe in you, Darkfish Days. Remember that episode, Cork, where we just kept calling people and they all had fish names?
Yeah, there was like Crab was like the last one.
Yeah, Crab Palace. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for our favorite part of the show, because this is the first time we've ever done it. Jeff Cork, we're giving each other goals.
It's true.
All right, people watching us live at the Backstage Pass tier, you have to choose who shares the goal first. Myself or Jeff Cork?
Or that self.
Myself or that self? Who should lay and smack a goal on the other person first? Please choose wisely. What was your process, Cork? I asked you, did I ask you once about come up with some people that you'd like to call. What was your process for trying to figure out who to call for BetterQuest this month?
I just looked for fun stories, interesting things, like weird stuff. Like, you gotta look at that miniature. That's really gross looking. This guy's got some tentacles coming out of his dang mouth.
Oh, come now.
I'm sorry. I should have warned you.
Yeah, I should have warned.
Just blurting it out like that.
People watching us live at the Backstage Pass tier are screaming Jeff Cork, Jeff Cork, Jeff Cork.
So I go first?
All right, I think you share yours first. I think is what they're going for.
Okay, this is for you. And again, this is one where, again, if I'm giving you a goal that is a terrible fit because it's already something you do, then I would like to apologize.
Do I have to just do it harder?
Do it harder.
Okay.
All right, your goal for this month, and this is a thoughtful goal to it. I will explain.
Okay.
But this month is going to be very busy.
Yeah.
And very stressful.
Yeah.
Right? Just with all the kind of E3 and the streams and everything like this.
Yep.
This is a thing that you can do. Kind of, one of it's kind of a 2-prong attack. One of it's kind of some background activity that I think has the potential of being very cathartic for you.
Okay.
It's not time intensive, but it requires some steps.
Okay.
And I think the results will be nice. I think that this month, I would like you to bake a loaf of bread.
Oh, no. Cork, I can't.
You can. And I'm not expecting make a sourdough starter like everyone was doing at the beginning of the pandemic, because that's just a whole lot of work and it's a big problem. Like, I could shoot you some recipes. I'm confident you could find some that are very easy, that are foolproof. And at the end of it, you'll have some delicious bread.
That's right.
And
okay,
this is under the same umbrella. Bake a cake from scratch.
I heard it's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake, but I don't know if that's actually true.
It's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake.
From scratch?
Buy a cake mix. No. All the ingredients. You could do it. You could do that with your sweetie. and then share a nice cake. And I know that you guys, you go out and socialize a little bit now that things are opening up. You could bring it as like a little with you if you go out to dinner or something with some people, or like a picnic or something. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, we mainly just have picnics. That's how we eat all 3 meals of the day, actually.
A lot of picnics?
Yeah, it's a lot of near constant picnic.
Nice.
That's very good, Cork. That is doable. And honestly, this last weekend we were socializing, just going nuts on a picnic. And a friend of mine was like, "What do you mean you don't cook with your girlfriend?" He's like, "That's like the best relationship time is everybody cooking." It's like, I think we've done a couple things together, but
I think the bread in particular, you're going to love the process of watching it rise and then punching it down and then kneading it. It's very fun.
Yeah. If you know anything about me, it's that I need some bread, brother.
Yeah.
That's really good. What makes it even better is for Christmas, I bought my girlfriend a big recipe book about bread, like great bread recipes. And she said, "You bought this for yourself, so you can just eat a lot of good bread." And she hasn't made any bread since. So now I can use my own Christmas present. All right. That's very good. That's very good. And I have to do this during our E3 live stream reactions?
Yeah, you're not going to be watching E3 stuff. Okay. Also, because that stuff makes you crazy. So just make bread.
Can you imagine how pissed people would be if we just called it like Microsoft press conference reaction stream? And then it was just a stream of me in my kitchen. And it was like maybe the far
reactions of yeast bubbling in your dough.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did I ever tell you about, I've told this story too many times, but I will tell it one more time. Kelsey, not Lewin, but the other Kelsey, friend of the show. She was on a MinnMax. She was on some board game streams and stuff, our karaoke streams. We were in a pun competition at in Northeast Minneapolis, and she had the topic of bread. So she was in the finals, and she was on stage. It's like, all right, your topic is bread. Come up with puns for bread. Go. And on stage in front of everybody, this was like April, and she said, "Well, it's almost." Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. It's almost. Hang on. I already would be booed off the stage.
You got to do it.
She said, "We're almost." Hang on. Why can I not set this up right? Okay. It's. Well, looking at the calendar, it's almost time for Easter. Jesus Christ has risen. That's what she said. And it's
very nice.
It was like a triple knockout punch. It's just mind-boggling.
Did people use the air horn sound effect?
I screamed the air horn sound effect at her.
Yeah, very nice.
It didn't come across. It just sounded like me shrieking, but
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, everyone knew what I was going for. That's pretty good, Cork. All right, I'm looking forward to that.
Take pictures.
I was gonna say maybe I could do it and then show the stream the final bread, but I guess you don't want like old bread. You want like some fresh new bread. Okay, but yeah, I will take pictures. That's true. Okay, so your goal, Cork, your Cork goal.
Sir.
I was really thinking about like what is not going to stress you out, what's not going to be too unbearable, but a little bit unbearable.
Okay.
And like what is the best thing you could do? And Cork, I hate to tell you, but you're kind of nearing the downhill slope of life. You got a lot of knowledge in that head. And so I was thinking maybe the best thing Cork could do is share it a little bit.
Ooh.
So using either the Discord or Twitter, I want you to find 3 aspiring writers, game writers, anything like that, nonfiction, your specialty, and work with them throughout the month, including 3, one for each, 30-minute coaching sessions about writing over Discord.
Oh, my Lord. So you're saying you are weaponizing imposter syndrome. That's what you're doing.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Thank you.
So you're going to have to call them up and be like, let me tell you a thing or two. But you've worked with interns. You've done this plenty.
Yeah.
And I feel like, what prompted this is in Slack, we were talking about, writing on the internet the other day and just like, oh boy, this writing sucks. And I thought like, oh, it'd be nice if Cork got out there and shared some tips with some folks for some up and comers, because you've been doing it for so many freaking years.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And like, I don't want to like oversell it, but if someone in the Discord or watching or listening to this is interested, just shoot me an email. Should I give my email, or like, what's the easiest way? What would you recommend?
Yeah, well, your video froze, but outside of that, yeah, you should probably.
Oh, Hanson is frozen.
Wait, you're frozen. Can you hear me? This is his little deploy. He just reached for the Ethernet cable when he found out that he actually had to reach out to people. I think he's gone, everybody. Well, if you're in the MinnMax Discord, this is unnerving. He kind of looks like this. Okay. Maybe he'll come back eventually. Well, he'll be missed. If you're in the MinnMax Discord, yeah, you can maybe DM Jeff Cork if you're interested. Otherwise, I think he'll put a call out on Twitter and then sort through people there. That's probably the easiest way to go. So we'll sign off in Jeff's honor. Oh my God, now it's me. I'm Jeff Cork. I'm Jeff 2 weeks. All right, sorry for everybody listening to the audio version of this, but the video's breaking down. Okay, that's it for this episode of BetterQuest. If you're watching this and you want to help support this type of content, you can always jump over and support us on Patreon. Then you get access to the Discord, where Jeff Cork is going to be giving or potentially finding some people to coach in addition to that tweet, but also that's where the BetterQuest channel is. So if you want to set a personal goal for yourself, let me switch to a different camera so I don't lose my mind. You can do it. And you can jump in if you want to be held accountable for the whole thing and jump over to the spreadsheet. Oh my God, hang on.
Very cool.
That was really cool. Welcome back, Jeff Cork. I was saying in your absence that you could probably just tweet out. I think that's probably the cleanest way to go, is just to tweet out that you're doing this, and whoever wants to jump in there. Or you can make it more of a cool Patreon bonus thing and just do it from the Discord.
Yeah, let me think on it.
Okay.
People on the Discord will know about it for sure first.
Okay.
But yeah.
That sounds great. And finding 3. All right, cool. And what's your gut reaction to that overall?
It's a little scary, but I think it'll be fun.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. And again, thanks so much for watching or listening to this episode of BetterQuest. We'll be back on the first Thursday of the month, and we'll be covering a lot of E3 stuff in between then, so look forward to that. Jeff Cork, anything you want to plug, dude?
Just the concept of fun.
Just think about it, have it, make it. That's what we like to say here.
Yeah,
all right.
We got like the E3 stuff's coming up soon. That if you're into video games, just go into it with an open heart, and like, if you see stuff you don't like, maybe sit on 1/3 of it.
Yep. All right.
And then the 2/3, feel free to bray like a donkey about how much it sucks and how you hate this product and all that other stuff. But like, put that 1/3 in your pocket. And I think ultimately, if everyone did that, it'd be a better place.
That's true. Also, you know what's going to make the world a better place is AFI's new album, which I think is releasing next week, Cork, like in peak
Sweet
E3.
Lord.
So we'll be making a new episode of our AFI podcast called A Fire Inside Out at some point in the near future as well. So you can subscribe to that on your favorite podcast app. Should be a fun time. So until next time, this is myself, Ben Hanson, and Jeff Cork saying... AFI! You can help support independent games media by subscribing to MinnMax on YouTube here, or you can support us over on Patreon to unlock exclusive shows like MinnMax Council. You can call into our podcast, you can put a picture of your choice on every MinnMax video, or you could have us plug your passion project on the MinnMax Show podcast. MinnMax is a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better, and we exist because of you. Any help telling a friend's appreciated.